Hey all, Chris Bassett here, and I'm going to be doing a solo guide for Extraction Legend Lost Sector. I'll be playing on my Hunter. Let's get into it. The Lost Sector is found on Sevethon's Throne World. It's in the Quagmire, the same area that you load into. If you're having trouble finding it, don't forget there's a few prerequisites. You have to be at least 1500 light, you have to have the Lost Sector completed on normal at least once, and then it has to be that day that it is in rotation. And then it'll show up on the mini-map as this icon. So I'm going to go over my build and give a few recommendations for what I think will excel in this Lost Sector. My favorite class for solo content is the Nightstalker, and I use the Mobius Quiver. It does a lot of damage. Marksman's Dodge gives you the reload, and then Vortex Grenade is the best grenade for damaging. Stylish Executioner gives invisibility, and then Vanishing Step, you dodge and gain invisibility. I like Remnants for a longer grenade. Undermining, so my grenade weakens enemies. Persistence, that way my invisibility lasts longer. And then Obscurity, that way when I perform a finisher, I gain invisibility. That actually comes in handy a few times. So I put on Overload and Unstoppable mods to take out the champions. You'll have 4 weapon types to choose from. Auto rifles and submachine guns work for Overload, and then Pulse Rifle and hand cannons for Unstoppable. I like Pulse Rifle because I'll be using an auto rifle as my main weapon. The Syncopation 53 comes from the Gunsmith and has a pretty decent roll. I think Hardlight is definitely the right choice to go with here. In the beginning, there's Void Shields you need to deal with, and then Arc Damage. You can also try Funnel Web or Brisk Runner. I did notice the range was a little lacking on the submachine guns, though. Since it is Arc Burn, we'll be going with a Hothead Arc Rocket Launcher. You could also try the new machine gun Grand Overture. And then I'm running a Wormhusk Crown with Rocket Launcher, Finder, and then Auto Rifle targeting. Graviton Forfeit would also be beneficial this time because the invisibility effects last longer. I'd throw on some resist mods to help with damage negation. The void damage from the crossbow enemies is particularly nasty in this one. Alright, so we'll hop on the Sparrow and I'll take you over there. I'll go over a couple of weapon recommendations on the way. The Sweet Sorrow auto rifle is pretty good. It's arc damage. I got a Sorrow's Verse, which is a Suros auto rifle with 4th times the charm and frenzy. It's pretty disgusting. Crisis Inverted is an Amalon hand cannon. It's pretty good. The Gunsmith was selling a Scathelock, which had Osmosis. That allows your weapon to gain the elemental damage when you throw a grenade. So if you're Void, throw a Void grenade, and then your auto rifle gains Void damage. So there's a little bit of a trick to the Lost Sector. When you see the symbol on the rock, you know it's that direction. You need to go over to that tear, and you need to breach it, or whatever it's called, to open it up. And then it'll reveal like a path that you can walk down. So if this is the first time you're doing the Lost Sector, you need to complete it on normal. Just go into the tunnel to the right and just keep going down and then follow the path and you'll complete it normally. And then you'll be able to come back and do it on the Legend version. This one's kind of difficult because of the Void Shields in the beginning and the guys one-shot you with their Void Crossbows and then arc damage later on. So just make sure you stay in cover. You don't want to be out in the open, and then kind of pick off the guys from range. That's why submachine guns were a little lacking in this department. Hand cannon with decent range stats, and the hard light is pretty good. So you're just working on cleaning up these ads. Over to the left, there's a lower area, and the purple shielded guys will spawn in. You can chuck a grenade in the middle of them. It'll suck them in and then kill them all. You just want to make sure that you don't expose yourself too much because you'll get one shot by those Void Crossbow guys. So there is a champion over there to the left. You want to watch out for him as well. So that's why you're just kind of keeping your distance and then doing poke damage and killing stuff at range. If you don't have a Void weapon to deal with the Void Shields, those guys can be particularly difficult. So one nice thing is in this area, the champion is an overload. So I got the hard light to deal with, and then the hothead has double rockets. So once you stun him, 2 rockets will take him out pretty easy. The one thing I would suggest would be to clean up all the ads first, because if they're shooting and throwing things at you while you're trying to deal that, you can run into trouble. If you were playing on Titan or Warlock, you could throw down a barricade with Overshield or your Healing Rift and kind of keep into cover and stay out of the way and just kind of poke in and out and do damage to the enemies. I would also think if you were using a heavy machine gun with arc damage, you could take out the ads pretty easily. I can't wait to get the catalyst for Hard Light. It's found in strikes, I just haven't got it to drop yet, but it increases the stability, making the gun even that much more accurate. If you didn't know, you can find catalysts in the Triumph section of your menu. It'll tell you how to acquire the catalysts for your exotic weapons. So they're just double rocket the overload champion. If you have to reload in between rockets, make sure you pull out the weapon that the champions are weak to. In this case, it's auto rifle, to stun him. Otherwise, he'll start recovering health. So you would rocket him, auto rifle to stun him, and then rocket him again. Or you can just continue to do damage with your primary weapon. The main thing is that you don't want them to regain health, because then you have to start all over. So then we'll just head to the next area. In the next area, there's 3 plates that you need to stand on to open the door to the boss room. So it'd be a good place to place your Rift on Warlock, your Barricade on Titan. But as hunters, we need to take use of invisibility. So that's why we put on the extra invisibility duration, and the finishing move also causes you to go invisible, as well as our dodge turns invisible. So with those things at our disposal, it's a little easier for us to hold plates. So basically just kind of cleaning up some ads so I don't have to deal with so many while I'm standing on the plate. But you'll notice there'll be like fire around the plate that starts to like rise up, and then there'll be like a flash of light after it's activated. So just try to stay invisible as much as possible, negate damage, and then kill the enemies. If you can always back up off the plate if you need to. You don't need to stand there the entire time. So if you're about to die, feel free to get off the plate to keep yourself alive. But there is a few arc shields in this area. There's the Scorn Captain. I think there's 2 of those guys. And then there's a couple of knights that have arc shields as well. In the middle of this giant room, there's also an ogre, an unstoppable ogre. So if you expose yourself too much, he'll eye blast you and kill you, which I think ends up happening. So since we're using hard light, switch to arc to take him down. And there, speak of the devil, there's that ogre. So yeah, if you did want to focus him down first before you step on the plates, that could be a different strategy you try. But since he's unstoppable, you'll be using either your hand cannon or your pulse rifle to stun him. And he stuns pretty easily, and then a couple rockets take him down. So I do have the ammo finder for rocket launcher on my helmet, as well as the scavenger on my boots. That way bricks give me 3 rockets, 2 to 3 rockets, and then bricks drop more often, which definitely helps in harder endgame content. If you were looking for more increased capacity, you could put some reserves on your chest armor, and also having the perk on your rocket launcher called Field Prep allows you to store more rockets. Also, if you do see those moth things flying around, make sure you shoot those. They're basically arc grenades that will kill you. You can also use them to damage your enemies. So here's another benefit of the setup. I can basically stand on the plate invisible, and then when I do the finishing move, go invisible. Stay invisible almost the entire time I'm warming this plate up. So this room may not be a bad idea to use your super if you're using tether. The boss goes down pretty quick with arc rockets. So if you're not going to try to zerg the boss with your super, you could use it in this room to do ad clear. And then once the middle plate's done, the last plate is over on the opposite side of the room. So same thing as before, stand on the plate until the fire like flashes, and then you know it's activated. You can get off the plate if you need to so you don't die. But yeah, it takes what, 20 to 30 seconds before the plate's activated, and then the boss door will be open. So yeah, having an arc weapon is definitely helpful with the arc burn. There's still ads you got to clean up, so make sure you're just being careful. They could pop out from above. Sometimes they go up on the ledge above and they'll be shooting you. So stay mobile, but also use cover when needed. Something else that's helpful is I'm using this primary weapon to kill enemies, so the heavy ammo bricks will actually drop more often. That's another good benefit to using hard light. I know hard light is occasionally sold by Zur. He comes on Fridays and then sells exotics. It also drops from random exotic engrams. If you decode it, it has the chance to decode into the auto rifle. Alright, so the last little bit of ads are about done. We'll run up the stairs and then head into the next area. There's a few enemies up there that you kill, but the main strategy for the boss room is to switch to your pulse rifle or hand cannon. There's an ogre and the boss. Basically, the ogre will jump down in front of you, you stun the ogre, and then double rocket to kill him. If you saved your super, you can also super the ogre as well, but then the boss will also come this way. So you don't technically need to go into the boss room. They'll both come towards you, and then you can shoot them. If you didn't kill the ogre right there, he will chase you into the hallway, so just be ready for that. The boss will come close as well, so you can either super the boss or rocket the boss. Don't forget, once the boss is dead, you need to finish the hive ghost thing. So I like to go invisible and then run over there, finish it, then I'll turn invisible again, and then you can go collect the chest. And that's it. Done. So good luck on your exotics. Hey, check out this other video right here. There's links in the description to save some cash on electronics, so check that out. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. If this was helpful, hit the like button. Thanks.